then scrub and then put their hand under the sink?
No, you let the sink go, then you put the soap, and then you wash your hands.
I don't agree.
Why?
I say you put the sink in, you put your hands in so your hands are wet, then you put the soap, then you
No,
scrub,
but then
and
you're
then you
just
rinse.
making this wet.
Yeah, but you're making...
Okay.
Look, man.
Already.
Always wash your hands before cooking or baking.
Or just wash your hands in general.
Always wash your hands.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I would recommend.
All right, Isaac, what are we doing today?
Okay, today we are baking, not cooking. Even though this is a cooking show,
Not cooking.
we're not cooking.
We're baking.
Yes.
What are we baking, Isaac?
We are baking cinnamon buns.
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 Okay, yes, that is correct.
What is our first step, Isaac?
Our first step today will be cracking open a cold glass of milk.
Let's take the tab off.
Usually it's just cold.
Technical difficulties.
So, we got it.
Oh, okay. Okay, this milk is cold right now. We need it to be warm. So we're gonna throw this milk in the microwave, yes?
No.
Give it a little friction.
Yeah.
Give it a little friction.
It's warm now.
Oh, sorry. Got it all over my boot, man. All right, we'll put this in a bowl, put it in the microwave, let it warm up,
Yes.
and then we will continue on with our warm milk instead of our cold one.
Exactly.
How much milk do we need here?
We need 2 cups. Can you pour me some? 2 cups of milk. Okay. I'm gonna crack open the sugar while we're at it.
Alrighty.
There's some sugary sugar.
Boom. 2 cups of milk. We'll go toss that in the microwave. How long should I put it in the microwave for?
Solid 30 seconds. Warm milk.
We have our warm milk now. We're gonna start the base, the first 2 steps of our recipe now. We're gonna have to feed some yeast before we can actually start making the dough.
That's what gives the dough. Nice, good stuff.
It makes it nice and soft, nice and airy.
There you go.
Alrighty, so let's add the milk.
This is just a normal bowl. There's nothing inside the bowl.
There's nothing. It's an empty bowl right now.
Empty bowl.
We wouldn't lie to you.
No. So right now we're gonna add half a cup of sugar because that is what we need to do.
The recipe calls for it.
In order to make it wonderful and sugary.
And
I
sweet.
just can't get my amounts right. There we go.
Did you make sure it was sugar, not salt?
Yeah,
I did that once
completely
making
sure.
these.
Not a good
It wasn't
idea.
very enjoyable.
Okay, don't mix it just yet, because
Right.
guess what? We have to grab butter.
Oh yes, we do have to grab butter.
Okay. Would you mind grabbing that for me?
Butter.
We need a knife.
We need it warm though, don't we?
We need to melt it.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna go for another microwave.
Not just yet.
They're sticks.
Oh. How much butter do we need? That's a perfect.
Yeah,
Dang, I've never had these.
A stick of butter is a half a cup.
Whoa!
In some American recipes, they don't say half a cup of butter, they just say 1 stick of butter.
I never knew. Wow, that is
The things you learn.
wild.
The things you learn on TV.
Insane.
Incredible.
Okay, so we do just need half a cup of butter, so we're just gonna use the exact same bowl that we use for our milk to warm that stuff up. We're gonna go melt that. We'll be right back. Kind of melted our butter.
Yeah.
We
I
yeah,
think it was in the microwave for like a minute.
around so.
Prime
So-
butter melting time.
Yeah, so the reason we actually heated up the milk is because if you don't heat up the milk and we have melted butter, they need to be at generally the same temperature. That's why you want the milk nice and warm. And that's why you need, yeah, exactly. You need, or else it'll just curdle and it won't turn out well. So
And we don't want any curdled butter and milk in our dough.
That just looks gross.
Yeah, and it tastes gross because it's chunky.
And all the heat will just mixture with that good sugar, so the sugar will combine with that.
Melt a little bit. Also an upside of the warm milk and butter.
Exactly. Now that we got a warm mixture here, the warmth after we add the yeast will activate the yeast faster, the yeast will grow, and then we're
sugar
gonna
will
have our
feed-
base. It'll be radical.
We're using some quick rise instant yeast
Yes.
today. It's a good old yeast, good old reliable yeast.
You're gonna need 2.5 tablespoons of yeast. And what you wanna do with this yeast is
Maybe pour it.
we're gonna pour it. We're gonna, what you wanna do with this yeast is you wanna just kind of vigorously
Shake.
shake it over top. Kind of just like, just think of it as like a nice.
You're not clumping it. You're covering the liquids
Exactly.
with the yeast.
You use a tablespoon, not
2.5. So we need another tablespoon, right?
I'm gonna stop. I put a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon. I read it wrong.
Well, that isn't good.
We're just gonna settle for that.
We're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you make mistakes.
Okay. So after you do that, you'll just wanna grab your old trusty whisk, and you just wanna make sure all of those little grains of those live doodads. You just wanna make sure they're all combined and nice and wet.
Yeah. And then we're gonna grab a cloth, cover the bowl, let the yeast activate, and
We'll see you in 10 minutes.
yeah, we're gonna let that sit for 10 minutes.
Yum.
The yeast has set.
That does not look appetizing at all.
It kind of looks like a brain.
I don't like that. Like at all.
Yeah, but it's fine because that's
How it's supposed to look.
probably because you put a tablespoon instead of yeast.
Okay, that's probably why. We're just gonna have hyper aggressive.
We're gonna go with it.
Yeah, we're just gonna have hyper aggressive buns.
They're just gonna puff out so far.
Okay, now we're gonna add 4 cups.
4 cups of flour. 4! All right, now we mix her.
This is-
mix her up.
Not the fun part.
This is a slow process.
You just want to make sure there's you just want to make sure it resembles dough.
And you also want to make sure to get all the flour on the edge of the bowl so that we don't waste.
Usually by now I would use my hands just because it does get a little more aggressive.
You know what?
What? I'm not
you're
being
weird.
No. Dough's good. It tastes fine.
Is it dough?
But technically you just want all the flour gone. This is not good. This is wonderful.
It's not good. It's great.
Sound like a tiger that I know.
From Winnie the Pooh. I've never had Frosted Flakes
You're weird.
to this day.
You're still weird. Frosted Flakes is the best.
I've had chocolate Frosted Flakes, but not the originals.
That's disgusting.
I feel kind of targeted right now. I'm fine, guys. Don't worry.
Now that we have somewhat of a dough,
We gotta let this baby rise. Let the dough set and
For an hour.
rise. For
An
an
hour.
hour. We get to take a break.
for an hour.
You get to skip to the next scene.
Yes.
Because of the magic
Of editing.
editing.
But yes, so we're gonna cover this with a nice moist towelette. We want to get that a little
Yes,
wet.
we gotta get a little moist.
You just kind of like
To make a human environment in the bowl.
for the dough.
For the dough.
Yes, as we cover it, we need to let it rest for approximately an hour.
Not
Or-
approximately an hour.
No, approximately an hour. As
No,
long
it's-
as
it's an hour.
It needs to double in size. That is what we're saying.
We are going to let it double in size.
Yes, as long as it's nice and puffy.
Puffy
Yeah.
is the end goal of us letting
Like
this dough rise.
Ghostbusters.
The guys with the vacuums. and
Yeah,
stuff
like the big
ghosts.
marshmallow dude.
Oh no, the Michelin Man.
There you go. Like that.
We want our dough to look like the Michelin Man. This is
From-
the end goal.
Yeah.
From the Michelin company.
No, not from the Michelin company. It's from Ghostbusters.
The Michelin Man isn't from Ghostbusters.
Well, it can be. Well, it should be. I think Ghostbusters should buy that.
All right, see you in like one
An
cut
hour.
of a video.
An hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
Filling is the most important part of the cinnamon bun because it's what gives it the flavor, and so you're not just eating baked dough.
Sorry.
Because we only eat raw dough in this house.
I can't open it.
It's okay, buddy.
I opened it. I found it.
You can. Oh, for
We're
filling,
gonna-
we're gonna need a cup and a half of butter.
Added way too much butter.
Yeah, it ended up a little bit liquidy. I think that if you guys plan on doing this recipe, probably add like instead of 1.5 sticks of butter,
Like one.
or 1.5 cups of butter, use 1 or like 1 1/4.
quarter.
1/4. Yeah, 1/4.
Quarter.
Yeah, 1/4.
Need a cup and a half of nice brown sugar.
Cup and a half.
Cup and a
I
half.
feel like we're gonna need a bigger bowl.
That'll be fine.
No, but it's thick.
Full send.
But it,
Cinnamon now.
well, we have to.
Hold up. That's the wrong spot.
how much cinnamon do we need, Isaac?
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
Approximately.
Are you sure it's not teaspoons?
Yes, positive.
Probably because it's cinnamon buns, so probably want more cinnamon than 2
We're
teaspoons.
gonna try and use as much cinnamon. Synonyms are important.
Cinnamon buns, just like grammar used to make them. Sorry, I just crack myself up sometimes. He deserved it. So we're adding the vanilla.
You need 2 cups of vanilla. That was a
2
little bit more than 2 cups
2
of vanilla,
cups?
but that's okay. 2 caps.
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 No cap.
Why are you like this? Why are you like the way you are? I don't understand.
So I am who I am.
We need nutmeg. I don't know if this is crushed nutmeg or not.
I think it is. It's ground.
Yeah,
It says ground nutmeg.
It says ground nutmeg.
Yeah, it says ground nutmeg.
We're gonna add a tablespoon. Just kidding. That is a lot of nutmeg. We're gonna add
half a teaspoon.
half a tablespoon.
Half. Yeah, it is half a tablespoon. I was wrong. For once. He's usually wrong, right?
Half a tablespoon of ground ginger is what we need now. As you can tell, we are not using knives, which I would recommend using knives to
Scrape off the excess
Powder.
Powder, spice.
everything nice.
Sugar and spice and everything nice.
Yes. Okay,
Delicious.
we will
We
throw
will
this in the
now melt
microwave.
this in the microwave.
gonna
We
mix
melted the butter. We're gonna have to mix it to make the filling with the brown sugar and stuff.
It has been an hour, approximately. Hopefully our dough has rised an hour.
Risen. Oh, look at
That
that
is
risen dough.
Thick.
Nice
That's-
and risen.
Moist towelette.
Get rid of the moist towelette. Now we are going to go into
The deep
cool
soak.
process.
Okay. After you've let it sit for a while, you're gonna want to grab another cup of flour. You're gonna want to add another cup of flour.
So that the flour doesn't stick to your hands at the table.
That's just nice to have.
Yep.
And then you're also gonna want to add a teaspoon of baking powder. Of baking powder. This will
Should-
give us, this is our leveling agent, so it'll give it a little bit more of a steadier rise altogether, instead of just being all over the place.
Science.
Okay, do we have salt?
We don't have salt on us. But
Quick, magic of editing.
salt. Where's the salt?
I don't know! Whoa! We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of salt. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be precise. You just kind of like,
Sprinkle it on.
make sure it is 2 teaspoons though. But like, I'm just eyeballing it. We just wanna get our hands nice and dirty. So you just wanna make sure everything's nice and incorporated. Because the reason we do add flour is because the dough already is really, really wet. And as we
Sticky.
keep, yeah,
Moist.
and as we keep kneading it, everything will just slowly get more involved with each other.
Dried up. Good for the final process of rolling so that it doesn't stick to our roller.
Or to our table.
Or to our table. We don't want it to stick to the table. We get it out of the bowl,
Yeah. You
onto the
wanna-
table.
You
Sprinkle a
wanna
little bit
sprinkle
of
that rest of the powder on the table. Just like go ham on it. Like grab all of the flour. Okay.
Save some if we need any more.
If when you are kneading it and rolling it, you want to use as little amount of flour as you can, because it dries out the dough and prevents it
From sticking together.
Yeah.
We need the dough to stick together to actually make the buns, because if it isn't going to stick together, it's not going to be buns, it's just going to be chunks of dough with sauce on top.
Exactly.
And that's not pretty.
What you want to do while kneading is push and pulling the dough, which just gets it to know itself a little better.
Mingle. You know?
Exactly. Okay,
All right, guys.
now we have our dough ready.
We're gonna have to spread it out.
But here, come a little closer.
Pull me closer. Sorry. Sorry.
This is the poke test. You just give it a nice firm poke.
See how it's rising?
Nice comes back. It's a nice hole. That's what you want.
Nice and risen. Got to flatten it out a bit. Get it ready for the roll.
Yes.
Just gonna go around, flatten her out.
You kind of just want to give it some dimension. If that makes any sense. You want to pull it apart. And then as you're pulling it apart, when you get it big enough, you want to invert it and then flip it to your knuckles.
Yeah, I
And
got
then
you.
you just kind of pull it apart, kind of like a big pizza.
Alrighty.
Hard work and dedication, blood, tears, sweat.
And love. It's kinda yucky.
Okay.
So
Intimate.
the filling is complete. We had to add a little more sugar.
It was a little water.
It was a little liquidy.
Buttery.
Just a heads up.
Yes. But after hard work and flattening this man, he's pancaked now. We can now add our filling.
Yeah. So we did make a lot. So pace yourself.
Yeah.
That's part of the process. When the dough becomes the almost cinnamon bun. Just that little pool of sauce. Spread it over. You don't want any gaps. And you can spread it up. Like I said, pace yourself. You don't want to overfill.
Because when you are rolling it, you really don't want it leaking out. Because first of all, it just makes a mess, and also it doesn't make your buns look great. Don't cut it with a knife.
We don't cut it with a knife because we don't want to smudge the filling downwards. So we use floss to wrap around and cut it towards the center.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna want to lift it, put the floss underneath, get that size of bun that you want, and then cut it with the floss like so. We're gonna need a pan to put these buns in as well. All right, guys. So the buns have been finished. It's time to throw them. Not finished, but it's time to throw them into the oven.
Not just yet. Before you want to throw them in the oven, what you want to do is you want to do the same thing that you did with the dough before. You grab a moist towel, and you cover the cinnamon buns, and you let that proof is what it's called for 35 to 45 minutes. You want to let them get nice and big.
Yeah. So they'll expand, give you bigger buns. Bigger the better.
Oh yeah.
And so after you do that, you're just gonna wanna put your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And once it's all heated up and your buns are all proofed, you're gonna wanna throw them in there for 25 to 30 minutes until they look all toasty. The dough should be pretty good.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's about it.
that's pretty much it.
Don't overload the butter.
Don't overload the butter.
Don't.
It makes
A mess.
everything so messy.
It just doesn't.
It just,
doesn't look good.
it's just, yeah, it's just,
Wow.
that happens. Carnage. But you know what, in the end, the buns should taste good. It's not the look that matters, it's what it tastes like and the
Yes.
journey that you have cooking them. You know, man, congratulations on the,
Get out of here. Alrighty. Well, that was crazy.
that was an adventure,
I must agree.
a journey.
Very long. Kind of like reminded me of Bilbo Baggins.
And yeah, journey and not the band.
Long live the rings
An adventure
of lifetime.
baking.
Yeah.
If you do make these buns, make sure to post a picture and tag us at Anthem Youth.
Oh yes.
Best buns will win a mystery prize.
Yeah.
And the best buns will be announced next Friday. It's gonna be great. I hope you win. No, not you. You.
Yeah. You know
I
who
hope
I'm
you-
talking
yeah,
to.
yeah,
Hey.
yeah. We got you.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah. We're just gonna lick this table now.
Clean it up.
see you
Nice,
guys
nice
later.
and good. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy making the buns. Hope you enjoy tasting the buns.
It's not the look, it's the taste.
And have a nice day.
Wonderful.
That's life.
That's life.